You are probably paying more money than ever and somehow owning less. The software you use is rented, the media you buy can disappear. Features and products can stay locked until you keep paying. Even when you own the hardware, companies can still control the software, the updates, or the tools required to repair it. So this story is not really about inflation alone. It is about a deeper business shift. Over the last 2 decades, capitalism learned that renting you access is often more profitable than selling you ownership. And once you see that pattern, it shows up almost everywhere. This is the business story behind why monthly bills keep replacing ownership. For a long time, the classic consumer deal was simple. A company made a thing, you bought it once, and the business had to convince you to come back later. That model had limits. Revenue was lumpy, growth was harder to predict, and every new sale had to be won again. Subscriptions, licenses, memberships, and software locks changed that math. Instead of earning money when the sale happened, companies could keep earning money after the sale happened. That is why access started beating ownership inside boardrooms long before consumers fully noticed. The shift did not begin everywhere at once, but software showed just how powerful the model could be. Creative software is one of the clearest examples. Adobe turned Creative Cloud into a subscription business and made recurring payment feel normal for tools many people once bought outright. That mattered because software companies discovered something investors love: revenue that repeats is easier to forecast, easier to defend, and easier to grow. From the company's side, subscriptions smooth out cash flow, reduce piracy pressure, and keep users inside one ecosystem. From the customer side, the upside is lower upfront cost and continuous updates. But the trade-off is obvious. Stop paying, and the tool that holds your work, your files, or your workflow can stop being fully useful. Once that logic worked in software, other industries started copying the playbook. Digital media pushed the idea even further. People got used to thinking they were buying songs, movies, books, and apps. But Apple's own media services terms describe content as something you can buy, get, license, rent, or subscribe to. The same terms also say Apple has no responsibility to keep content available to you if it becomes unavailable for download, re-download, or streaming. That is a major shift in what purchase feels like. You pay money, but what you actually hold may be a revocable layer of access. Convenience made the model easy to accept. No shelves, no discs, no clutter, instant delivery. But convenience also trained people to confuse access with ownership. Then the model escaped software and media and moved into physical products. BMW's digital premium and ConnectedDrive ecosystems show how cars can become platforms for ongoing software revenue. The headline example is not just one controversial feature. It is the broader logic of selling a car, then continuing to sell digital functions, services, and upgrades around the car. From the company's view, this is attractive. The hardware sale stops being the end of the monetization window. From the driver's view, it changes the emotional meaning of ownership. You can hold the machine in your driveway and still feel like some of its value is being rented back to you. And once vehicles become software platforms, the business incentive is no longer just build the car. It is also keep the customer paying after the keys are handed over. Repair takes the pattern into even more sensitive territory. The Federal Trade Commission's Nixing the Fix report describes how repair restrictions can limit access to parts, tools, diagnostics, and software. John Deere's own repair page now emphasizes resources like Piro Service and Customer Service ADIZR, which shows how modern equipment ownership is tied to digital service layers. This is where the system starts to feel different from old ownership. You may own the machine, but full control can still depend on approved tools, software pathways, or manufacturer-controlled ecosystems. That does not mean every restriction is fake or malicious. Safety, emissions, and compliance are real issues. But it does mean the customer increasingly owns the shell, while the company keeps influence over the operating rights around it. Why does the model keep spreading? Because financially, it is beautiful. Recurring revenue is easier to model, easier to pitch, and often worth more in the eyes of investors than one-time sales. A subscription business can look steadier, stickier, and more defensible than a business that has to resell the customer from zero each year. That changes executive incentives. If markets reward predictable monthly cash flows, companies start redesigning products to create predictable monthly cash flows. So the shift is not just cultural, it is structural. Capital markets actively reward business models that turn ownership into access and access into ongoing payments. Once that incentive is in place, the pattern repeats across industry after industry. That is why so many people feel squeezed, even when they are surrounded by more products and services than ever. A lower upfront price can hide a much higher lifetime cost. A subscription can feel harmless on its own, but stacked across work, entertainment, storage, transport, and home life, it turns into a permanent monthly drag. And the money is only part of it. The deeper cost is weaker control. If the company changes the rules, removes content, stops support, or locks a feature behind a plan, your relationship to the thing you paid for can change overnight. That is why this feels personal. The system did not just make life more expensive, it made everyday ownership feel more temporary. So the real story is not that capitalism suddenly forgot how to sell things. It is that modern business learned something more powerful than the sale: keep the customer inside a controlled stream of access. Software showed the model, media normalized it, hardware copied it, and repair restrictions made the limits of ownership harder to ignore. That does not mean every subscription is bad or every service model is a scam. But it does mean consumers should read products differently now. Ask what you really own, what you are only licensing, and what stops working when the payment stops. Because once ownership turns into rent, the most important part of the deal is no longer the thing you bought. It is the control you gave away after buying it.